City of Stevens Point Historic Preservation Design Review Commission meeting, recorded September 3, 2021.
Then it is
Put it on the
2:10.
screen.
2:10. Call the meeting to order. September 3rd. Call the roll, please.
Siebert,
Here.
McComb is absent. DeBush,
Here.
Scripps. Let the record note, she nodded in affirmative. And then Malepsky is excused and Monk is excused as well. So we have a quorum.
Okay. So next thing is the report of July 28th, 2021 meeting. Do any of the members have comments or changes or whatever?
I move to accept the minutes.
Okay. We have a motion to accept the minutes as written. Take a second. Hello, Sarah.
All right, we got affirmative
Got
from
a second?
Sarah.
Okay. In favor, say aye.
Aye.
Affirmative from Sarah.
Are you seeing this?
No.
Getting you this?
Can
Okay.
you put her on the screen?
Yeah, can you throw her up there?
Oh, we can try putting her on.
I shouldn't say throw her up there.
There we go. All right, there we go.
Okay. All right, so number 3 point on the agenda is a request from Joe Stachinsky, representing Northside Yard LLC, for demolition review to raise the principal structure on the property at 1000 Union Street. So it's basically at the corner of Union and Portage. Sir, you want to make a statement?
I can give a brief background on it. So the image that you see on the screen here just shows an aerial view of the subject property and then the surrounding single-family, primarily, lots surrounding it along Portage and Union. So some of the things to keep in mind for the structure itself, it is one of the older structures located at least in this area of the city. This house is approximately 121 years old, built in 1900, whereas the ones in the near vicinity generally were built around the 1920s, 1930s. Generally have a more simple 2-story single-family design. I think personally one of the more unique features would be was the front porch that we'll show in a couple pictures from now. So the images that are shown in the agenda packet, just putting the disclaimer out, are should be noted, at least as was mentioned in the packet, that it was not representative as to how the house was even a year ago. So the fire department has conducted training on the property within the structure earlier this spring. So again, some of the pictures do look significantly different than the house was even a year ago, but some aspects to point out that did exist for the last few years now was, first off, the cracks in the foundation, the moisture retention. There's some pictures I have looking through our accessor database that does show retention in this it would be the far northwest corner of the house, where the house meets the attached garage, and then next up would be the temporary coverings over the window. So if you're looking at the image on the far right, two of those window coverings were installed after the fire department was conducting their training on the house. The other one was permanently there for at least about 5 years or so. So, generally speaking, this is a structure that does not have, at least in staff's opinion, key historical significance that would warrant the structure to continue to stand. So staff would be supportive of the demolition review to raise the structure, and as you mentioned, Chair, the applicant is, or a representative of the applicant is in attendance and can answer any questions or provide more input.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions and I guess a couple of issues. Adam, you had mentioned that this was brought up on February 2019, this whole parcel regarding the north side yard project. But in that material, it doesn't show them owning this property. So at what point did you purchase this property, or was that incorrect?
So this is a separate parcel from the north side yard parcel. I don't know if the applicant can speak to when ownership changed for the property, but.
Yeah,
Name.
Reese Frederick, representing Market and Johnson. From my understanding, Merge Urban Development Company owns that property. I can pull up my emails and permits that show that Joy Hanneman owns this piece of land, and under her discretion, she has indicated that she would like this house to be knocked down, and we abated it. That's why you see the green siding gone. So there is no asbestos in that building, which allowed the fire department to conduct fire training activities, and that's kind of where things stand right now.
Did they set any fires in there?
No, they just had practice smoke and stuff like that.
Okay.
Looking at the structure of the house and how to break down walls and remove windows, that type of stuff, and finding people, like finding dummies in the house, in the bedrooms, while there's fake smoke. So.
When did you, or who owns it, find out that they needed to go through this committee for permission to knock it down?
Yeah, so I had no idea that this was a historic house or under this committee. The only reason we found out is that Joe Stuchinski wanted to pull a demo permit last week Thursday, and he was told to fill out this application, and then Market and Johnson, me, got involved with filling out that application and coordinating with Adam and trying to get this process rolling or figure out what we can do with the house.
And I would note, just for clarification, that the cutoff between lots being within the commission's design review district and being outside of it is Portage Street. So directly across the street here, as you can see on the cursor, that would be outside of it. Lots to the south would be within the design review district.
So I guess I'm really unclear as to, you said Ms. Hanneman owns this?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So what's that got to do with the North Yard project? She's gonna sell it to them, or, I don't understand.
Yeah. Could I grab my phone first? Okay.
I guess as the gentleman is pulling up the information that he wants to speak about, one thing I would point out to is, if there are any improvements that would be done to the property in the future, 10, 20 years, however long would be, rest assured, 95% of improvements would require this commission's approval. So, if it's, name the type of improvement, most likely it would require this commission's approval anyways. So, short answer, most likely if there would be anything, you'll be seeing this again in the future.
Okay. So the house is owned under Merge Urban Development, and the name listed is Joy's, and North Side Yard is under merged development. It's just, how do I best explain this? North Side Yard is an LLC under merge urban development. And merge, the company, owns that property, and the name listed is Joyce, and that's
Okay.
Oh, I see.
what's going on.
Okay,
No, they're the registered agent of
Yes.
the LLC.
Yep.
okay.
Okay.
So then,
Would there,
go ahead.
I'm just wondering if there are any plans yet as to what would be done with this lot?
I haven't heard directly on what they want to do with this site, so I don't want to put words in their mouth, but from what I understand, they want to do with the entire right side of their property is to create a parking lot and extend their parking. Because if you look to the left a little bit, you see our job trailer. That's where they're drawing the future townhomes. And with those future townhomes going in, eventually, they would like to have extended parking where Hanson's is, where the greenhouse is, and then depending on what happens with the flex staff employment agency there, that building, they would like to eventually turn that into parking, or just to make it look nice and make it all one city block eventually. So that would be their plan. But again, I don't have anything in writing from Joy or Merge Urban Development saying this is what they want to do. This is just my speculation on my interactions with Joy over the course of my time with them.
And they haven't done anything concrete to get the cleaners, to purchase it? They haven't
Hanson's.
purchased the cleaners there, okay. Well, it's great, I think, regardless of what happens, it's great that you guys took the asbestos off and remediated that.
Thanks.
That's a very good thing.
So essentially, the inside is gutted? Is that?
Yes, yep.
One of the things we've done in the past, Adam, I don't know, well, because of, obviously the pandemic, and I don't know that you came much before the pandemic started, but in the certain situations like this, we did visits.
Correct. Yeah, this was a topic that I thought, initially potential that we could do a on-site visit. Part of the challenge was just scheduling a quorum, that it became a little difficult to make sure we would have the quorum available for meeting on-site beforehand, plus the meeting itself. But yeah, definitely I do intend to schedule on-site visits in the future once, hopefully the pandemic improves with respect to cases and availability.
Sarah, I hate to ask, but have you got any questions? No? Okay. Anything else, Joe?
Well, I guess I do have the concern or the issue that, I would think it's a great plan to kind of take care of this whole block. I mean, I think in the end, I think that would be really great. What concerns me is that there's not been that another alternative hasn't been looked at, that there hasn't been an effort to try and to see if this house could be moved. And if the company would put money into basically giving it away and even giving somebody, here's $20,000 plus to move it because you're saving us $20,000 to have it torn down. I just wonder if, I know we tried that once before and it went nowhere. But this house is, I think, got a lot more character. Plus, you've taken the asbestos off. It obviously needs a lot of repair in a foundation. Correct, is a problem. But maybe somebody, if it was given to them free and given maybe even a little bonus money in lieu of the cost of tearing it down, somebody might want to entertain that option. And I guess I wonder if it's a possibility, because I don't see it as being urgent that this has to be taken down this week or next week.
Yeah, I would agree, and I guess coming to us after it's been, pretty messed up is a little irritating, I guess. Before we got a chance to even see it in its original form, I suppose you'd say, asbestos or not.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of irritating.
Well, I guess I'm not so, because, you don't know the procedure, and I don't know that the demolisher would necessarily be aware of all the boundaries of things. He's got a contract to take down a house and shows up and finds out he can't do that.
But I guess the original, whatever the company is you're talking.
Merge, Urban?
Yeah, Merger, they know it, and yet went ahead through Hanneman to allow the fire department to do whatever it is they did. I guess that's kind of going around the rules, I guess, which is irritating.
And I will say too, for some of the past demolition reviews that this commission has undertaken, there were conditions placed on that request, essentially stating, that the applicant, to the best of their ability, should preserve any historic element, any historic features of the structure that could be salvageable. So, I'm just throwing it out there that would be within your purview to place that as a condition, to say if there is anything of substance or of significance that can be salvaged, that the applicant, to the best of their ability, should do so. But, so that's just something to point out, depending on what you three feel.
How bad is the inside? Are there any walls left at all, or other than support walls?
Yeah, it's, when you walk in, it's pretty beat up. But I guess what was going on too, whoever owned this house before, maybe you guys should just come out and look. We're there every day. I mean, we would totally welcome you guys to walk through it, no doubt. But how we found it, how Market and Johnson found the house, is that on the upstairs floor, they were remodeling that. Someone was trying to remodel that upstairs floor with updated everything. They weren't trying to preserve any historic, they were just trying to have someone live up there as I guess like an apartment, and the bottom was completely like disassembled and in shambles when I've seen it. So it looked like before someone that owned this house was trying to fix up the upstairs and make it some type of a livable place, and then downstairs in the living area was in shambles. And I don't know if that's, or yeah, I guess I'm very unsure, because I'm kind of the middleman in the process. But that's how I have seen the house even before the asbestos. The downstairs stairs were, you had to be very careful. It wasn't like this, no one was taking care of it, I guess, and that's kind of how I viewed it, besides the upstairs, and it was half complete renovation with whatever this person was trying to do when we got the house, or when not Market and Johnson, but Merge. And since we're the general contractors on the project, we were told to keep watch over it. And that's kind of what we've been doing. So, yeah. And going back to your question, yes, there's walls up. The fire department, yes, we're digging into the walls and practicing. But there's like where the overgrown trees are in the front there, facing east, all those windows are shattered. I don't know if that was from the fire department or if that was just from being a vacant house for a long time and whoever's walking by or whatever people are doing at night. So that's kind of the state that it's in. If and I do welcome you guys to come anytime. It's open, we're there, we're working, so.
All the upstairs windows are just flat gone.
Yep, they're removed because they had asbestos, yeah.
So I imagine there's all sorts of water damage in it.
Oh yeah, now, absolutely now, yep,
There's a lot of windows are out.
yes.
I don't know that it's movable. I guess that's what I'm driving at here. I don't know. I don't know. I can't.
Yeah, it might be a lost cause, but is there any woodwork that's decent at all, or floors decent at all?
So the funny thing that you ask about that, so if you guys go to the basement, you'll actually see that this house was built with burnt timber. That this house did have a fire in it in the basement at one point or another. Like I said, you guys are more than welcome to come out. We can show you the details of the house and the bones of the structure. But the floors are definitely walkable. But when you go into the basement, you'll see that there was a fire in this house, and they built it to last. That's for sure, because it's still you're still able to do whatever you want in the upstairs. But yeah, there is major damage to the foundation and to the floor trusses. So as far as anything else that's salvageable, you could take the copper wire. There's really nothing of a historic value that I can think of right now. Maybe you guys would have more of an eye to it. I just don't. I'm just very naive to that. So I don't want to say that there's nothing, because I don't know what I'm looking at as far as that. So I want to be respectful to what you guys are trying to do. And I'm trying to understand. I just I feel bad because Market and Johnson, as a general contractor, we're just focused on putting up those 2 apartment buildings. We're not, and I'm just here to hear what you guys are gonna say, so.
You don't have any engineering background.
No.
Okay, so I guess my reason for asking that would be, is it structurally sound enough to move? But you didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, we would for sure need an engineer to come out, yep.
I guess maybe it is pretty much a foregone conclusion, but I guess I would recommend that we do a quick on-site visit,
Yeah.
if we can arrange that. And, since there seems to be not an urgency other than maybe from the contractor who might need his equipment moved or something to a different site, but.
You said it's scheduled for Tuesday?
Yeah, we scheduled to knock it down last week, but then this happened. But I can definitely call Joe and tell him to remove the bulldozer, and we'll not knock it down. He needs our okay. That's why we're here, Market and Johnson, so we can tell him yes or no.
And I will say, if that's something where you would want placed either as a condition of approval to have an on-site visit, or to postpone it and have an on-site visit first, that would be something that staff would have to post accordingly online, just in the event that a quorum would be established.
Yeah, so I would move that we do an on-site visit prior to approval.
Okay, got a motion, Sarah? Second? Is that what I'm seeing? Okay. So we have a motion and a second to wait for an on-site visit?
Yeah.
If Adam can arrange for a quorum to do that? All those in favor, aye?
Aye?
Hi.
Ooh,
There she is.
first time we heard you, Commissioner. Perfect.
All right. I guess that's where it stands then, that passed
Okay.
unanimously.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
And thanks again for coming.
Yeah, appreciate it. Closing section, you have something?
No, just adjournment.
Okay. Then we are adjourned if
We
there are
just need
no.
a motion to adjourn.
Yep. Motion by Joe.
Yeah, the motion adjourned.
Sarah?
Sure, let's adjourn.
before we adjourn, any comment about replacing Tori? Anything that can be, how does that,
We can talk about that after
Okay.
the meeting.
Okay, we are
Well,
therefore,
we just need a
vote.
final vote, since
Yeah,
we
I
have
thought we
a
did.
motion and a second.
I thought we did. Oh, we didn't?
We
Okay.
just- no,
All those
we
in
just-
favor, aye?
aye.
Sorry, I thought we did.
You're good.
Okay, we are adjourned then.
A video of this meeting is available for viewing on the city's website, stevenspoint.com/videos.